Dancing through the streets, we wander, falling for the fire.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday. I post new videos every Monday and Wednesday. So hello everyone, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Today's topic is on sugar, beating a sugar addiction, stopping a sugar addiction. As far as diet goes, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about because I feel that's not a word. I feel like it applies to everyone because whether you eat meat like I do, or you're vegan, or you're vegetarian, or you're high carb, or low carb, or you count calories, or you do the Atkins diet, doesn't matter what diet you do, having too much sugar in your diet when trying to lose weight is a big no-no. Having high sugar foods spikes your insulin levels, and when that happens, your body tends to want to store more fat. So that's why a high sugar diet is just not good. I transformed my body, including my face. A lot of people ask me, how did you slim your face? How did you lose weight in your face? Because it is different from a lot of my older videos. When I lowered my sugar intake, I'm not going to say I take 0 sugars a day because, there's a few sugars in my protein powder, and there's some sugars in my almond milk and my coffee creamer and my the fruit that I eat. So I do take in sugars, but I'm saying that I try to dramatically decrease how much sugar I take because I'm one of those people, I have a sweet tooth. Like, I go out for dinner, I want to know your dessert menu. Like, I rate restaurants in LA based on who has the best dessert or best bread. My personal 3 ways to break a sugar addiction is 1, your trigger point. What triggers you? The second one is time. Yeah, we gotta wait this one out. And then the third is the substitutes. What can you have instead? So yeah, if you want to know all 3, then I just told you all 3, but if you want to know more about all 3, then just keep watching. The first thing is the trigger point. I want you to take 5 to 10 minutes to think about this today and think, when do you consume sugars? Is it first thing in the morning? Are you that person that you wake up and you go to Starbucks or a coffee shop and you have a sugary latte? Or are you the nighttime eater where you are watching TV at night or even just laying in bed and you're craving sugars then? Or are you like me and you like to go places and have sugar? One of my favorite places to go and consume a lot of sugar all at once is the movie theater. And if you've been following me for a while, I used to go see movies a lot, and ever since I moved and kind of stopped doing that, I noticed that it's a trigger point for me. And I actually went to the movies over the weekend. I saw Beauty and the Beast and it was amazing. But I saw that, like, I'm stronger now and I don't really associate the movies with sugar anymore because I just don't allow myself to. And I took a break from doing that for a while. But when I was consistently going to the movies, I wanted gummy bears, Sour Patch Kids, I wanted popcorn, I wanted Diet Coke, which I know that doesn't technically have sugar, but it makes you crave more candy, more popcorn. So try to think, when do you specifically have sugar? What we don't understand in the moment is that, yes, sugar kind of gives you that like energy burst, but then you crash and you feel worse. You feel fatigued, you feel dizzy, and the worst thing that could possibly happen is you feel hungrier. And the reason you feel hungrier after consuming sugars is because your body's like, I just had this sugary gummy bear, or I just had this sugary latte from Starbucks. What am I gonna do with this? Not getting any nutrition, feed me more. And when you're trying to lose weight, you need to either eat less or eat more quality foods. It depends on the person and what their goals are and where they're starting, but for the most part, when we go on a diet, we have to be eating less food. For the most part, when we go on a diet, it's because we had been overeating and now we want to eat the appropriate amount of food for our bodies. So it turns into this ugly cycle. Okay, so when you know your trigger point, that's all I want you to do. We're not doing anything further with it. Just know, when do you consume the most sugar? Morning, middle of the day, nighttime, or is it throughout the day? So just think about that for a second. Even write it down so you don't forget, or maybe you know exactly when you do it. Maybe it's in the car on the way to work. Try to think right now, what's your trigger point? And after you get that, and after you realize when you do it, where you do it, what you're doing when you're doing it, then we move into phase 2, and that's the substitute. What can you substitute? Okay, so I just want to show you some quick, yummy substitutions that you can make when you are craving candy or just need a really well-balanced food idea. I got you. So the first is candy grapes. I swear this is a dupe for Sour Patch Kids. So what you're going to do is you're going to get some green grapes, any flavor of sugar-free Jell-O. You're going to put that on the grapes, freeze them, Honestly, you can only freeze them for a few hours. You could freeze them overnight, whatever you want to do, and they seriously come out like candy. Okay, so they're not really pretty, but they taste really good. The next thing is peppermint tea. You guys know I'm a huge fan of this. It's kind of like after you brush your teeth and you no longer want to eat something sweet. That's kind of what peppermint tea does. My next tip is to get in the habit of using natural sweeteners. So if you like chocolate, then get the unsweetened ones. The coconut flakes, I buy the unsweetened and I put those on top of a smoothie bowl. And last but not least, cook with big flavors. So you want to preheat your oven to 400. Have some chicken breast that you flavor with whatever you like. I like to use garlic salt, no surprise there. Add a little honey mustard on top. And we're going to be putting those crushed pecans that I have on the side there. And the honey mustard is really good and makes the chicken come out incredible. But it also keeps the pecans on top of the chicken. It sort of adheres to them. So as you can see, I'm just putting a little bit on each chicken and I'm just patting them on. And then I'm going to put them on a baking sheet which has olive oil on it. You want to keep them in the oven for 20 to 21 minutes. I think I did 21 minutes. Add a little avocado sauce on top and oh, your taste buds will love you. So I once read that when you're trying to break a bad habit, you actually never end up like completely conquering that habit, but instead you replace it with a better habit. So did you guys ever hear that? Like people always say when you're trying to break a habit, you do something better instead. And that's what our bodies do, that's what our minds do, even if we don't know it, and even if we're not aware, that's what we're doing. So I want you to think at your trigger points, what can you do instead? Can you make something healthier? Can you avoid certain places? If it's the movies like me, can you not go to the movies for a while and maybe do a home movie? I think a lot of people always want to give it a quick fix to sugar addiction, and then they realize a week or 2 weeks it comes back. I think you really have to start at the trigger point. You really have to start at the surface. And now, not all sugar cravings have to be replaced with another food. They could even be replaced with an activity. Like, one thing for me is at night, I love to read. I love to read articles, I like to read books, I like to listen to books. Actually, we're creatures of habit. If we have a routine and a ritual, we're gonna keep doing that and we're gonna start associating that thing with the better thing. Am I even making sense? So let me use an example. At night is when, after dinner, is when I'll kind of want something a little sweet. And I try to find healthier alternatives. Sometimes I'll even get like protein ice creams and they're like little and low calorie and stuff. But sometimes I don't want that because sometimes that makes me bloated. So I'm like, you know what? Some nights I just want to eat my dinner and then be done. So what we do is, in my household, is me, my boyfriend, and my dog, we go outside and we walk the whole neighborhood. So we walk our neighborhood, we walk the neighborhood by us, and then the neighborhood on this side of us. And sometimes we run, and sometimes we like are just outside playing, just like kids. And we're just being goofy and stupid and getting out and moving our body and being outside. That's really what you want to get in the habit of. You want to replace those sugar thoughts with something else. Another thing that helps people is to have a glass of water. If you are craving something sweet, tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna have a glass of water, and if I still want the sugary thing after the water, then I'll have it. A lot of times what ends up happening is sugar cravings can be caused by dehydration. So once you have that full glass of water, you're no longer dehydrated, and you might say to yourself, oh, I don't even want the sugar anymore. Try to create your substitute, whether it's the healthier version, whether it's an activity, whether it's reading a book, journaling, praying, meditating, yoga, a workout, a nighttime workout class, anything. And last but not least, time. Give it time. All good things take time, right? That's what the saying is. I feel like my grandma always says that to me. But just know that your job is going to get so much easier. It's not going to be this way the entire time and you're like fighting the urge to have the sweets. No, it's going to get easier. 100%. I can bet my life on it. If you give it time and you work at it, you're not going to crave sweets like you used to. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out my website. I have a meal plan on there which gives you all sorts of meal ideas. And if you don't want to follow it exactly, like you're not looking for a meal plan at the moment, it's great just for recipes that are already calculated for you. I do all the work step-by-step recipes and it's all like really yummy and perfect for anybody new with cooking. I'll have that all down below. I love you guys so much and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!